Alright, is it fixed? Can anyone here see me? I'm in the wrong angle. Of course, the whole freaking thing is busted again. I love how that's the image they chose. The automatic thumbnail. Okay, so... one final piece of evidence. I don't know. What if I present the music box or the music box disc in order to get him to scream? What if I go with that angle of attack and be like, yo, we got both discs, let's just play them both? I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. I'm gonna try that. Oh, here we go. Is that Mr. McGilden's particular music box, Council? This sounds like a good direction to go in. Yes. With the disc already in place, ready to play. You didn't miss anything, I just fixed it. I didn't start playing again until it's fixed. I think perhaps now would be a good time to listen to the sound produced by the music box again. Only this time with the second disc we just discovered set in place as well. Goodness, this disc, Council! Hold it! No, wait! I can't let you do that! Why not? But because I'm... well... because it's got nothing to do with this case, that's why! Objection. Not true, Inspector. Eh? The defense has already proposed that the sounds heard by the court from the court earlier for this music house were part of a Morse code message. We know that Morse code comprised of two distinct tones. The defense believes that the second disc contains the second tone needed to complete the message. And now we have a chance to confirm that theory. For crying out loud, Sunshine, we're talking about state secrets here. If you go letting the whole courtroom hear confidential information like that, it's treason. Then do you admit the charge? That in order to protect those state secrets, you engage in unlawful dealings with the witness. You're mad! If you let that secret information out into the public domain, you'll be making an enemy of the entire British government, you idiot! Objection. Let's not forget, Inspector, that you, a Scotland Yard officer, leaked confidential case details to a witness. That you continue to lie to the court, and all because by fair means or foul, you're determined to do your duty. Well, by fair means or foul, I'm prepared to do mine. Don't you dare. I will stop at nothing to protect my client. I don't care who I make an enemy of. Sorry, Inspector, but I don't remember asking. He's just watching. I love it. My lord, if you please. The court must hear the sounds made by that music box. Come on, Van Zieks, for Pete's sake, stop him! Objection! The leg! Inspector, you should know my methods by now. I'm a prosecutor. I'm no Scotland Yard puppet. In this courtroom, my duty is to the law, so let me propose a toast to uncovering the truth, by fair means or foul. No! Very well. The defense's stance here is that if the prosecution has been made very clear, I feel. Therefore, in accordance with the defense's request, the court will now listen to this music box as set in operation once more. This time with the second disc in place and both discs playing simultaneously. He's not gonna stop. Oh, listen to that. It's an unmistakable now. It's Morse code. All right, I admit it, whatever you want. But for the love of God, shut that bloomin' box up! Let me ask you again then, Inspector Gregson. Did you, or did you not, strike a deal with the witness next to you in the stand, Mr. Ashley Graydon? Specifically, did you furnish the witness with confidential case details in exchange for this music box disc? Did you revel in the existence of the peephole in the pawnbroker's storeroom door, Inspector? 1 second. I did. Stop! What are you doing, man? It's exactly like the young Eastern lawyer said. When the trial resumed after the recess, we all stood here and standing together. That's when he approached me with the deal. Shut up, you imbecile! Shut up! Psst, you there. You're the detective who turned up at the pawnbroker the other day, aren't you? I may have something you're looking for, Inspector. With me at this very moment. So how about a trade? I suggest you accept, or information that may make certain individuals uncomfortable will soon become very public indeed. I couldn't let that information become public knowledge, not under any circumstances. So I accepted the man's proposal and told him details about the case that should have put him in the clear. The peephole in the storeroom door and the bloodstains on the overcoat. By giving false testimony, this witness intended to have the defendant wrongly accused of murder. Inspector, you knew that. Yet you still revealed those details to fallaciate the witness's perjury. I did. But then it turned out the peephole had only been made that night after the incident took place. Scotland Yard wasn't aware of that, if I'm perfectly honest. Well, Mr. Graydon, what do you have to say for yourself? There's nothing and no one left for you to hide behind. You struck a deal with the inspector in order to escape conviction of a very serious crime. Why do you have a sword? It's a long story. Namely this. You are the third intruder who broke into the pawnbroker on the night in question. And you perpetrated the murder of the proprietor, Mr. Pop Windibank. You! Dude, you broke. Traitor! Oh my God! The chip. Dude, what the frick? Bailiff! Restrain that man! At once! Kazuma! That's it then. It's all over. He's gonna commit die. Down throw to 70%. I despised my life growing up. The slums are vile places. I was cursed from birth, born into poverty, the son of a penniless artisan. My parents did nothing but quarrel all day long. What little money they had was never spent on me. So I set about studying to better myself, to one day escape from that hellhole. You eventually became a communications officer. I admire your determination. But then you decided to try to sell government secrets? Why? Isn't it obvious? Because I wanted money. Even now, years later, the nightmares of my life in the slums wake me in the small hours. I wanted to drown them out with more money than anyone who lived in that squalor could ever imagine. Then one day, I met him. Mr. Magnus McGilded. You're a fiend with a queer talent, so you are. I'm willing to throw you away if you're interested. And all you need to do is go along with me to the plan now. That's a nice hat. I was to steal the Ministry's telegraphic message logs, and McGilded would buy them for a handsome sum. As I was responsible for inspections of the Ministry's communications office, it was a simple enough task. It's the literal of the devil's offerings. How easy it is to succumb. But you must surely have realized the seriousness of the crime you were committing. And for that reason, I took great lengths to ensure that my actions were untraceable by using as a music box. My father was a brickmaker, though my mother divorced him when I was still a child. Yes, Mr. Mason Milverton. That's right, he was very skilled with his hands. He'd once been a music box maker's apprentice. I imagine his skills would be sufficient to create a machine that could generate Morse code. So I sought out my father again, to employ his services. It was the first time I'd seen him since I left the slums 10 years earlier. Look at you, Ashley. What a fine gent you've become, eh? He was a different man to the one in my memory. A thin, frail old man. But poverty had never broken him. Never corrupted him like it had me. I was sure that he wouldn't help me if I told him the real reason. So I made up a story. Got some work for you, Father. I need some music box discs made. Music box discs, eh? A musician friend of mine has written some music he wants to... a musician friend of mine has written some music he wants to sell to the public. I brought the score with me. There are two. There are two, actually. I'd be delighted, son. It's been 20 years since I did any work like this, though. Fetch my tools, would you? They're in the loft. That's how I had him make the 2 discs. Thereby splitting the information in 2. You are taking considerable precautions indeed. It was to protect myself as much as anything. It meant that I could deal with McGilded in 2 separate transactions. First involved the first of 2 discs and the music box for playing them. I exchanged them with McGilded for 10 guinea. Then, on receipt of the second disc, he would pay 1,000 guinea. So, what happened on the omnibus 2 months ago? Was the second part of a deal? The exchange of the second disc? Yes. I sold the man information that way a number of times already, but it seems he had become reluctant to part with his money. Now, that doesn't quite make sense, Mr. Graydon. Well, why was it on that omnibus 2 months ago? Your father, Mr. Milverton, was the one dealing with Mr. McGilded and not yourself. When I received the 1,000 guineas after my first completed dealings with Mr. McGilded, I decided to give 200 to my father for his troubles. But my father realized something was amiss. In time, he worked out that I must be involved in something dubious. And when he did, he said to me, "Next time there's an exchange, you'll let your old man do it, understand? Otherwise, I won't take your money anymore." Wow, what a good dad. He died for his terrible son. That was my father's way of dealing with it, I suppose. Climb into the omnibus, hand over the disc, and take the money from McGilded. That's it. He had no idea what was actually on the discs I asked him to make. He never knew. Just like I'll never know why everything went so horribly wrong that night. All I know is that the disc was taken out from him, and he never returned home. It was only then that I found out what sort of monster McGilded really was. So after 10 years of not once uttering it, I swore on my father's name to exact revenge. Revenge? He set the bus on fire, didn't he? As anyone with even the remotest knowledge of the man will no doubt be able to imagine, the McGilded brought all his wealth and influence to bear in the most despicable of ways. Such! To crush any semblance of justice in his trial. The crime scene was tampered with, evidence was fixed, and the witnesses were bribed. The trial 2 months ago was a farce from start to finish. My feet had barely touched British soil back then, and I walked in on that hornet's nest completely unaware of the sinister background to it all. I made plenty of money out of my dealings with McGilded by then, so I spared nothing in my arrangements 2 months ago. I knew exactly who to hire. If you are willing to pay the price, there are people in this city willing to do anything you ask. McGilded himself had shown me that. Are you saying that... I think you have the picture now. After he twisted everything to his favor in this courtroom to ensure that he walked free, I took matters into my own hands and delivered the justice that monster deserved. That tragic accident following the trial here 2 months ago was planned and executed by yours truly. McGilded's death that day was caused by this man.
Everything is ready, sir. If you like to follow me into the courtroom.
Fire!
Fire! Exactly. What's this officer to there? Is that to believe?
Hope it's not inconvenient, sir. There were some changes to the schedule.
Well, I must be making tracks now. It's time for the inspection. I'm going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself. So that policeman who came to tell McGilded he could examine the omnibus again. That's right. An imposter. Hired by me. McGilded used his wealth to manipulate the trial. He paid people to adulterate the omnibus with all manner of false evidence. He threatened witnesses to lie in their testimony. So I gave the man a taste of his own medicine. Once the omnibus was doused in a paraffin, one of my sham policemen ushered McGilded inside and sent him on a one-way journey to hell. I thought he broke his stick. An eye for an eye. That's how I avenged my father's death. In the same cabin, too.
Spine-chilling account, indeed.
But that wasn't the end of it for me. There was a loose end, you see? Officers are unbreakable in this game. A loose end? Yes, I should think it's obvious. The second disc, which my father had taken to exchange with McGilded.
Ah, yes. Was indeed no mention of it to the man's trial 2 months ago. Clearly because it had been removed from the scene of the crime.
When I realized it was missing, I remembered something. Something from the first time I dealt with McGilded. This is the first of 2 discs, and the music box you need to play them. Well, look at that now! What an ingenious little invention! So then, as promised, 10 guineas for you, young man. What's this? Windibank's pawnbrokery? Aye, it's a pawnbroker's ticket, so it is. You can use it to redeem an article I've deposited there for ye. There's no need to give it a name. Just hand out the ticket and tell the fiend the watchword. I put a jewel in the pawn for ye. It'll fetch you a good 10 guineas if you sell it, so it will. I've never heard of a pawnbrokery being used in quite that way before. Have you not, Mr. Graydon? Well, these pawnbrokeries are very useful places, you know. Each one is like a little extremely secure vault. I've heard that one before. So I knew that if he'd taken steps to hide the disc, it would be in that pawnbrokery somewhere. And on that night he killed my father, he must have entrusted the ticket to someone. Yes, to Gina. I remember now that when we first met you at Windibanks that afternoon 2 days ago, you had a description of Miss Lestrade written down. How did you know who you were looking for? From the trial. That pickpocket's testimony was clearly peculiar. Anyone could see that. I realized immediately that she was another of McGilded's pawns, that he must have threatened her somehow. I was fairly convinced it would be her who had the ticket, so I started to make some inquiries. I had a strong suspicion that the girl would come out of the woodwork on the redemption deadline, and he was absolutely right. And yes, sure enough, she did. All I needed to do was to wait until the girl went to the Winterbanks to redeem the articles. But unfortunately, she redeemed only McGilded's coat and the one disc that was in the pocket. The all-important music box with the second disc inside was missing, because it had already been forfeited 2 days earlier. But I was unaware of that fact. Had I not been, I could have avoided any nighttime excursion. Meanwhile, as our investigation into the stolen government secrets was progressing, we picked up on the fact that McGilded was involved. Inspector, you've recovered fast. My orders were to recover the stolen information as quickly as possible, so we started gathering the fella's possessions and examining whatever we could lay our hands on. We had a full-scale investigation going on in the yard, but we had to keep it as quiet as we could. Then, when the inspector here took the disc from me in the pawnbrokery that day, I became nervous. I was sure the music box of the second disc was still there in the shop somewhere, so I knew that it was a race against time. I had to find those articles before the police did. So that's what prompted you to break into the place that same night. With the help of your old friends, the Skulkin brothers. What happened that night in the pawnbrokery, I can only describe as a nightmare. While Nash and Ringo were searching the counter, I had located the music box I'd sold to McGilded on the shelves of the forfeited articles. And the second disc was inside. Yes, I slipped it into my pocket with a very deep sigh of relief. But then, something entirely unexpected happened. What are you doing in my shop? A gunshot rang out in the shop, and I felt a sharp pain in my left arm. Zibaroka fired his gun, and the bullet pierced your limb. Yes, exactly. But unfortunately... FBI, open up! Exactly. I decided to bring my own gun with me that night, just in case. Before I knew what was happening, I had fired back. The man had already turned to flee. I hadn't intended to fire in his direction, much less kill him. But unfortunately for both of us, the bullet hit home. It struck him in the middle of his back as he fled through the storeroom door for refuge. A sorry tale. It all took place in the blink of an eye. I don't imagine Nash and Ringo even realized what had happened at first. I was terrified, so I fled. And that's the whole story. Everything that happened at Winterbanks on that wretched night. Well, that's heavy. Earlier, you called Mr. McGilded a monster. A man who used his voice. That is not what I was expecting to have happen. A man who used his wealth and influence to distort the facts and escape justice for the crime of murder. What tragic irony. For what you have done is exactly the same. Mother... You've become the very monster you saw and despised so deeply in McGilded. Ah, murder never gets old. Yes, I think I have. Well, this has been a long and exhausting trial, no duh. However, it would seem that at last we have arrived at the truth. Inspector Gregson, what of Mr. Ashley Graydon? He's been restrained, my lord, and is being escorted to the yard. He'll be charged with the murder of Mr. Winterbank and the stealing of government secrets. Very good. And you, Inspector, regrettably, you will have to face charges yourself. Yes, my lord, of course. It transpires that you are complicit with helping a criminal escape justice. That fact remains whether or not you are doing so in the line of duty. The crime is a serious one, Inspector, and inexcusable. Oh, Luigi.
Now to the defendant, Miss Jenna Lestrade.
Yeah.
It is time for the final adjudication. Is the jury ready, Mr. Foreman?
Yes, sir! Jared Up Squadron, stand by, sir. It really is it now. Last push, final call. The finishing whistle. My men are ready to deliver their verdicts. Then do it.
Thank you, Mr. Foreman. Very well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will now declare your final decisions of the court.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Oh, God. What? No more Luigi's Mansion. That's the stuff. I'm off Duck. Finally, Runo, you finally managed to do it. Finally is the word. I really wasn't sure if we'd come out on top for a while there. Susie was right. You're the best lawyer in the world.
Miss Lestrade, I am not finished with you yet.
Hey, what are you looking at me like that for?
Before you start enjoying your freedom, there are certain other crimes to consider,
Eh.
2 months ago, in my courtroom no less, you gave false testimony, did you not? In relation to the trial today, not only did you unlawfully enter Winterbank's pawnbrokery, you also attempted to abscond Mr. McGilden's property, it seems.
Eh! Never done nothing of this sort. Of course not. It's not like you were gleefully wearing Miss Gilden's coat in your cell yesterday or anything. Aw, and just when I was getting excited about throwing a party for Jeannie this evening.
And then turning our attention to the defense, determining that, when played together, the music box disc contained a message in Morse code was, well, it was certainly a most unexpected revelation, counsel.
Quite so, my lord. The prosecution was caught entirely off guard. In fact, I think we should applaud my learned friend's courage here today. I propose a toast to demanding that government secrets be dismantled before the entire courtroom. Very sorry about that. It was the only way I could get Inspector Gregson to admit what he'd done, so... If I may say something on that point. Isn't that... It's, about the sounds produced by the music box before. I do wonder if that was really Morse code at all. What? What are you saying, madam? Oh, well, it's just that I'm really rather fanical when it comes to Morse code, you see? So much so that the whole world seems to be covered in dots and dashes to me, in fact.
Goodness, madam, an unhealthy level of obsession one feels.
But I must say that, in my opinion, the sounds produced by those two discs were nothing more than that. A meaningless series of two different tones. What? What? Can that even really be? It wasn't Morse code after all. Then what was it? My lord, the defense would like to listen to the music box again. Are you off your nut? How many times do I have to tell you? Those discs contain ministerial secrets, sunshine. This courtroom is not an appropriate forum to discuss the nature of the government communications. We know McGilden conspired to trade national secrets with our enemies, secrets acquired from Mr. Graydon. Now that the man has admitted to his crimes, you have no need to pursue the matter further. It was Ramirez code. That rough-looking man is definitely a vampire. Oh, he was innocent? Ah, screw him. But it's really going to bother me.
Miss Lestrade?
Yeah, my lord?
That which you have seen today in this courtroom has been extremely disturbing.
Oh no.
Oh no. Falsified evidence, intimidation, perjury, a grim catalog of depravity.
An appalling experience to befall any child.
Come on, it ain't nothing I ain't done seen most days in the backslums.
I beg your pardon?
If you're weak, you pay for it. That's just how life goes. Gina. But look, I reckon I worked something out today. But the world ain't fair. But if you want it to change, you gotta start at home. You've gotta change how you are yourself.
Well, that's a very laudable lesson, I would say. I really look forward to the born-again Miss Lestrade never gracing my courtroom with her presence again.
Me too. He's just being edgy for 5 seconds.
Now, with regard to the murder of Mr. Pop Windibank, proprietor of the pawnbrokery business on Baker Street, I hereby declare the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade, not guilty! Finally!
Now that all the secrets have been laid bare. Yo, the inside fireworks that are very oh, what? Yo! She got a gun! There's a firework in her gun! That was good.
That is all. Court is adjourned.
Oh my god, what happened? Oh, that was really weird. It knocked the input out for a second. Oh. Oh no! We're gonna sword fight! We're just us two now. What is happening? On a personal note, I must say you've surprised me, my Far Eastern friend.
My body is ready.
Oh. Despite being a Nipponese, you saw through the pretense to the malice that festered within that Englishman. And at the same time, saw through the grime to the surprising heart of your English client. You have a curious talent for judging character, especially considering our very different cultures. I don't think there's anything curious about it. Whether we're from the Empire of Great Britain or the Empire of Japan, we're all human beings. We're not so very different on the inside. You know, I took this case for one very simple reason. To lock swords with you once again here in the courtroom. You did? When I encountered you for the first time 2 months ago, it reminded me of toasting friendship and trust with another Nipponese, only to find my trust betrayed. So you, I hoped to look into the eyes of the man I once knew and try to understand. Wait, who was he talking about? You mentioned something similar earlier today about total betrayal at the hands of the Japanese. He did say that so long ago. I forgot about that little line.
Get the f out of my house!
We can even take. What happened exactly? He's like, do I tell? Well, you may ask. And one day, when the time comes, you will learn the answer, whether you like it or not. Alright, then I'll wait for that day if I must. Going to be known as the Reaper of the Bailey, in my retirement from service 5 years ago, gives me cause to wonder if our reading has some deeper purpose. So, farewell, my learned Nipponese fellow, until we meet again. We literally just had a showdown in the empty room. How we don't have to kill Obama again to do that? Man, to be continued. Probably. Dude. Okay, so it's 5:30 now. The trial started at 10 a.m. It's been almost an 8-hour trial. Gee, many. Poor Naruhito. It's done. It's over at last. But my woman is gone. But where's Iris disappeared to? Oh, it's Gina. Ah! Congratulations, Gina! I knew it all along. I knew that you were innocent. My wife is dead. Well, it took longer in real life. That's true. Well, you did what you said, Mr. Naruto. You believed in me, right up to the end. You're as odd as your name. What's odd about it? I told you I had faith in you, didn't I? No one ever asked before, see? Kept a promise, I mean, properly. That's awful. I figured something out today. All my life, growing up in the slums, I've never trusted no one. The brain cell. But that's just cause, well, I've been scared of getting stabbed in the back. I mean, the more you trust someone, the more that's when they let you down. That's true. Yes, I think I can understand that. After all, I had a taste of it in the trial 2 months ago. If I chose to trust someone and paid for it, that betrayal left a big scar. You know, though, Jenna, I worked something out quite recently, too. Trusting in someone else is really an exercise in learning to trust yourself. And when your gut tells you it's the right thing to do, and your trust is rewarded, there's no better feeling in the world. I think I have you to thank for reminding me of that valuable lesson. Oh, well, if you say so. Don't make a fat old lot of sense to me, though. I'm trying to say that putting my faith in you, Jenna, has been a real pleasure. Well, for crying out loud, pack it in! But I suppose I sort of feel the same way. I mean, sometimes trusting someone else is, you know, alright. Thanks. And so Jenna learned a valuable lesson on that day. Only trust Asians. This is the way... Oh, Kazuma! Kazuma! This is the way I see it, Muranosuke. A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself. After this experience, I'm starting to feel like I understand what you mean, Kazuma. Am I living up to your expectations? Am I turning out to be the lawyer you believed I could be? Pardon the interruption. Who? Oh my god, her face! Ah! But what the deuce does a man have to do to be noticed around here, my dear fellow? Dude, he's still in disguise! That voice! It's too late for that voice now, Mr. Naruhito. I've been standing here patiently in the corner of the room for an eternity! Ha ha ha! Yes, it was me all along! As I would have said when you finally noticed me. He had it all planned out. The other guard is looking at him! But you people with your incessant blabbling! Ah, Mr. Sholmes! Yes, it was me all along! You see? Dude, that stupid mustache. Back in suit. I'd assumed you'd been taken back to the hospital, to be honest. Indeed I was, but I managed to escape again. Escape! Oh. I happen to be aware of one or two foibles in the doctor who was attending to me. I merely made my knowledge of them known to the man, and he happily issued me with a leave of absence. How very above the board. Require medical attention! But enough of my adventures. That was a fine victory, Mr. Naruhito. Your tireless efforts justly rewarded, I feel. Congratulations are in order. As a close friend, I tip my hat to you. Oh, thank you. Some great detective you are. Great being out cold as ice, maybe. Dang. Have I irked you in some way, Miss Lestrade? While you have been having the snooze with your nice soft bed, some have been fighting for lives. Ah, well, that bullet did cause me to lose a substantial amount of blood, it's true. So I have indeed been feeling somewhat cold. Not perhaps as cold as ice, but, well, have a feel. Wait, what? Could you take your hands off my neck, please, Mr. Sholmes? Her look. And in some way, I suppose, congratulations are in order for you too, Miss Lestrade. What's this supposed to mean? Why are you so half-hearted? Well, naturally, it isn't my intention to alarm you, but... an acquittal in the trial with that particular prosecutor is perhaps a little precarious. Well done, Mr. Sholmes. Not alarming in the slightest. Oh, the raper, you mean? Because he was found not guilty at the trial, he was woken up when he finds him dead anyway. Is that it? The very point I was trying to make! And exemplified by the fate of Mr. McGilden, in fact. Ah, but of course, I pay no attention to such irrational drivel myself. Sholmes jokes you to death. Yeah, well, ain't bother me. Oh, really? Of course not, because the way I see it, the Reaper's a bit like him upstairs. Him upstairs? You mean, like God? The Reaper is God? Yeah, I'm upstairs, knows what's what, right? He knows what's people like on the inside. He won't have got the wrong end of the stick. Yeah, some coves like that, bog trotter. Water wanting to the core. At the end of the day, I'm upstairs, make sure they get what they deserve. I suppose that's one way of looking at it. And that this day, Mr. Naruhito learned religion from Jenna, the pickpocket. Divine justice is one thing, though. The Reaper taking matters into his own hands and claiming lives is another. But who said he did that? Well, I act like McGilda's is the older world. I ain't scared. I got Principal C. You still smoking? You had trait in which you is to be admired, Miss Lestrade. Oi! Just give it a west, alright? As I was saying, congratulations are in order. The news of your acquittal was very welcome news to me indeed. Let me express my heartfelt congratulations, Jenna. What is going on? Well, there you are, Hurley! How long have you been there? He's down on the ground again! Honestly, I went to the main entrance especially to meet you there. Ah, Iris, my dear, I do apologize. But wait until I tell you what happened. This pair made utter fools of themselves. What happened? As you know, I have a penchant for disguise. I was hiding in this room just as a bailiff. But these adults didn't even notice my presence at all! They had no idea! Can you imagine, Iris? Would you credit it? I'm not sure, really. I beg your pardon?
My focus is
I'm sorry.
unparalleled.
I'm sorry, Hurley, but you just don't have the weighty presence you seem to think you have. In fact, you really ought to be careful about that. It's going to land you in trouble one day. I'll be careful. Ouch! Dude, she schooled him! Anyway, it's such a shame. I was so hoping to throw a party for Jenny tonight, but you won't be able to come, will you? Don't look, I'm gonna be going here for a while. You're the judge, Spatter. I got stuff to make amends for, apparently. All them offenses. What was again? Breaking and entering, taking the ball trotter stuff in the lug, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I think you'll find that basically being a pickpocket is the main offense. But that ain't an offense, it's a job, ain't it? Oh my god. Excuse me. I don't think so. She'll be back by the second game, I'm sure. Still, it got me thinking, all this. Maybe I should start looking for another line of work. I mean, you didn't start off as a lawyer, did you, Otto? We're named Otto now! That's way better than anything else I've called him. Well, no, but I was never a pickpocket. Well, anyway, I reckon I ought to make a change. Gotta do something for all of them like me from the slums. Something that makes a difference for him. That's a wonderful idea, Jenny. Jeannie? Is it Jeannie? Yeah. And I'm sure you can do it. What is it? Nothing. Miss Gina Lestrade, the prison carriage has arrived, madam. Please come with me to the rear gate at once. Right. Well, looks like I'm off, Dan. Yes. Goodbye, Jenna. And good luck. Otto. Yes? What? No! Don't shoot me! What are you doing? They're not gonna let her take that, right? Don't shoot. Dude! Ah! What was that for? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say, so. Ah, indeed. Perhaps this situation calls for the phrase "hitherto missing" from your vocabulary, Miss Lestrade? Eh? On occasions such as this? What's he gonna say? I would recommend a simple thank you. Oh. Oh, yes. It's a good advice, Jenny. Right, I see. Well. Oh my god, she took off her hat. Thanks, Otto. Oh my god, it's so sweet. Thank you for everything, what you've done. For believing in me. With a gun. What will she do? She will cry! Her hair is the smash logo. Ever seen a smell? Not at all. In fact, that should be my line. Thank you, Jenna. Cursed. I didn't even see it. I was too busy being like, well, there she goes. That's it. We're adopting her. I wonder if I'll ever see her again. Well, well, quite indomitable, Pitpurse. Oh, I nearly forgot. I bought a paper outside. It's a special edition, and this trial is all over the front page. Pickpocket's innocence proven. Isn't it wonderful? You should have shown it to Jenna, Iris. She would have been thrilled. Oh no! How silly of me! She's literally in prison. Ah, but anyway, would you like the good news or the bad news? Ugh, not again. Well, what do you say, Runo? Hurley? As usual, I think I'd rather get the bad news out of the way first. Absolutely not! I have no intention of listening to anything but good news! Dang! That's a based opinion right there. Like, screw the bad news, only the good news, nothing else. And there you have it. How people answer that question says a lot about them, doesn't it? Let's not go there. Why does the kid have a gun? Long story again. Alright then, maybe let's start with the good news this time. The rain has finally stopped. It was a record level of rainfall, apparently. Well, that is good news indeed. We can journey back in greater comfort. Alright then, well what's the bad news? Well, the huge storm has left the seas very choppy. The channel in particular is awful, so sailings out of Dover have been delayed by a day or more. Wait, Dover? That's right, if we head to the station immediately, we might still be making time to wave Susie off. But, there won't be a train, surely. We couldn't be that lucky. Who do you think I am, Mr. Naruhado? Mr. Sholmes? I rushed to Victoria Station earlier and made arrangements for a special express. This man thinks of everything. If we hurry now, we shall be there in time for dinner. And I know of a fine restaurant that serves the most delicious baked sole. That's a great... The Ray Detective does it again! Indeed he does! I happen to be aware of a number of rail transport... I happen to be aware of a number of rail transport director phobias. What? I merely made my knowledge of them known to the man, and he happily laid on the locomotive elementary. Wait, did he just blackmail the freaking conductor? Just an idea, but it might be wise to stop manipulating people that way. What are we waiting for, then? To London, Victoria! We're off. Are we gonna get a cutscene? Cutscene. No, wait, this is just a backdrop. 5:32 a.m. Port of Dover. Quayside. Wait, this is literally 12 hours later! That took somewhat longer than I had anticipated. You're telling me. You said dinner time. Susie's boat must be about to leave now. Miss Sasato. Sasato. I can't speak! Where are you? Go to her, lad. She's there reading book! Over there! Look, she's reading something. It's a massive book. Whoa, what are you doing? Miss Sasato. Wait, what are you doing? Mr. Naruhado, what are you doing here? We came as soon as we could after the trial. I mean, we heard that sailings were being delayed due to the bad weather, you see. Oh, I see. Then tell me, how did Jenna's trial go? It went well. She was acquitted. That's wonderful. Really wonderful news. It's time to talk to her, dude. Wait, where's the others? The book you were about to throw into the sea. That was your Encyclopedia of British Law, wasn't it? Oh dear, I was hoping you hadn't seen that. I'm not worthy of practicing law in any way now, so I was saying my final farewell. You were saying goodbye to law? You, Sasato-san? She quit. She quitted the smoke. Would I be correct in assuming it's because of the peephole, Miss Sasato? Sasato. Sasato! I can say it. I deliberately altered the scene of a crime, and then I tried to hide the fact. What I did is utterly unforgivable. That reminds me. How did you even come to have this, Susie? On the evening of the incident, Mr. Sholmes had invited Jenna to dinner, if you remember. Oh yes, we had a wonderful time. Well, Jenna gave us a little introductory lesson, didn't she? To the art of pickpocketing, I mean. You... Oh, that was so much fun! I stole Runo's armband! Yes, please don't do that again, Iris. That band is very important to me. Well, if it's so important, you should pay more attention to it. You didn't notice for ages. Does everyone just have a gun? Pretty much. On a whim, I thought it'd be fun to see if I could take the cat flip-o-mat, so I put it up my sleeve. Really? And then I rather just forgot about it until I found myself in Mr. Windibank's shop with it later that night. You slept with that in your sleeve? I see. And then... Mr. Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes! Believe me, Mr. Naruhito. Right. After Mr. Naruhito had left the shop, I started to think. That door started to play on my mind. The storeroom door, you mean? Yes, if Jenna was anywhere near in the shop, I realized it could only be behind that door. And at that moment, the little device I had in my sleeve sprang into mind. I was so worried about Jenna, I simply had to know. So, you'd use the cat flip-o-mat to make the peephole in the door. Well, if it wasn't for the cat flip-o-matic, this trial would never have happened in the first place. It would have been a locked room mystery, as captured in a photographic print of the shop by one of Hurley's red-handed recorders. Indeed, it was of the first importance, that point. Precisely when the peephole was made, that information would prove useful to be Mr. Naruhito's greatest weapon. Though, and naturally without proof, it would have amounted to nothing. But when I looked through the hole in the door, the sight that met my eyes made my blood run cold. Thoughts started to run through my mind. I remembered that the trial 2 months earlier, the trial of Magnus McGilden. I thought about how he manipulated the evidence and arranged false testimony to secure his freedom. It made the British justices feel very dark and sinister to me. And then, a terrible thought occurred to me. What if some wicked criminal was planning to do the same thing now? Because from the appearance of the crime scene, it looked exactly as though Jenna had shot Mr. Windibank. Even though I was sure she would never have done such a thing, you were worried that the true culprit would try to frame her for the crime. That's right, but then I realized it would be very difficult for anyone to give false testimony in this case. What do you mean? Well, the crime appeared to have happened from behind the door of a locked room. For someone to claim falsely to have witnessed it, there would have to been a way to see beyond the door. Ah! For which, a peephole would be the very thing. Only the peephole I had made wasn't actually there until after the crime had been committed, of course. And the criminal would know that, so it wouldn't make any difference. But the possibility of a rather ingenious trap was there, was it not? A trap? Is that why she did it? So, is that why you kept it a secret, Susie? You never mentioned that you made a peephole to anyone, not even to the police. I know, and I knew at the time what I was doing was wrong, a criminal offense even. So I decided to confide in Mr. Sholmes. If Mr. Naruhito was completely backed into a corner with no other possible means of escape, the truth about the peephole could save him. That was my plan. She really does think of everything. But then, why didn't you just tell me everything before the trial began? My dear fellow, you're not thinking straight. If she had done that, it would have rendered you complicit with the whole escapade. Ah. You could have been disbarred if you had seen to have not really tampered with a crime scene. So Miss Sasato decided to shoulder the burden of responsibility alone. For your sake and Miss Lestrade's. Jeez. Miss Sasato. The truth is, when it happened, I did it because I lost a little of my faith in the law. Oh. I was worried that the right person wouldn't be convicted of the crime, but at the moment I allowed myself to think that is the moment I lost my right to call myself a judicial assistant. What you did isn't comparable to what he did. Graydon is the one who lied in the witness stand, using that peephole as a way to implicate Jenna. And besides, if the peephole inconsistency hadn't existed, I'm not at all sure she would have been acquitted in the end. Miss Sasato, what you did saved Jenna's life. Well, with your kind words, Mr. Naruhado, you've saved me too from my regrets. I don't like where this is going. Well, we must all be thankful that Miss Lestray's freedom has been assured. Yes, exactly. Although some of the loose ends in this trial will continue to play on my mind, I'm sure. But the revelation that the music box disc contains secret messages, Mr. Naruhado. What a triumph to work that out! I'm full of admiration. Well, actually, that argument wasn't quite as compelling as I thought it was. Oh, it wasn't? There was a communications officer among the jury members, you see, telegraph operator, and she said that the majority of the sounds of the disc were just meaningless tones. As one would expect, after all, we are talking about government secret communications. No doubt they were written in cipher to avoid being readily understood, so they have been intercepted. In cipher? I see. Get accused of cipher cracker. So then we could never have hoped to understand the message anyway. Nonsense, my dear fellow! It's quite a zero-pipe dream, I assure you. What? What is that? Wait. So. Okay. What? Who said anything? Well, that can't be a real word, can it? How funny. Wait! Iris, what did you just say? Oh, I just said Asogi. Wait. Hold the phone. Wait a minute. That's Kazuma's first name! Does that word mean something to you? Mean something? Asogi was the name of my best friend. What? So wait, what's happening now? What does that mean? But how? How do you know that name, Iris? I wrote it down during the trial before, when the message was playing on the music box. She transcribed it on the fly? She really is a genius. I thought the message probably wouldn't be written out in plain Morse code, so I tried various ways to interpret it. But whatever I tried, the words just didn't seem to make any sense. That is, in English at least. Oh! It suddenly occurred to me, you see. There's more than one Morse code, not just the English variety. Various countries around the world have altered and added to Morse code to use it in their own languages. I don't believe it. Are you saying... What is it? That's right. I've only actually seen a chart of Japanese Morse code once before. But I think it's based on the Iro-Fa phanogram, isn't it? And you mean to say that in Japanese Morse code, the message says Asogi? Yes, I think so. Sorry, but I don't remember all of the Japanese Morse code. Iris, would you let me see that? Miss Sasato, Suzato, do you know it? Do you know Japanese Morse code? Yes, I spent some time studying it. She knows everything! Because I'm quite sure Morse code will be ever more important than for international communications. Then might I recommend, my dear madam, that you focus your efforts on the English version? Be that as it may, Iris, show me the message, please. Of course. Her great big book of everything. But what can this possibly mean? Whatever is in that long sequence of supposedly meaningless dots and dashes, it's made the color drain from Suzato-san's face. There's no doubt that this message is written in Japanese Morse code. So the British Empire has been using Japanese for its secret communications? Yeah. Yeah, I'll let her out. I don't understand the reason why, but the message appears to be the list of 4 people's names. I don't like this game anymore. 4 names. The first is Kei Asogi. Kazuma Asogi. Why? Why was his name on that disc? The second is A. Shin. Shin. I don't recognize that name. The third is T. Gregson? Gregson? Ah, it would seem Tobias Gregson is the third man on the list. What's his name doing in a secret government communications as well? And the last name... What's the matter, Miss Sasato? I can't say her name right. It's just so strange, so unexpected. Oh, what is it, Susie? Don't keep us in suspense. The last name is J. Wilson. Oh, God. What does this even mean? What? Wilson? John H. Wilson? You mean Daddy? Oh, no. This is not good. It says only J. Wilson, so I'm afraid I can't be sure. Then, after the four names, it reads, if I translate from Japanese, that is all four. And that's the end of the message. Or rather, the end of what you wrote it down, Iris. God, I just can't believe it. Who would ever have thought that those discs contain Japanese Morse code? Not to mention a strange list of some disturbingly familiar names. Only one name we don't know. That would appear this peculiar message is a communication of some kind between Great Britain and the Empire of Japan. So, Daddy could be in Japan then. Where Susie and Runo come from? Oh, God. Oh, well... Are we gonna tell her? No. It's not very likely, really, is it? I mean, there are thousands of people with the surname Wilson, and there must be lots of J's among them. Professor John H. Wilson, visiting professor of medicine at the Imperial Yuma University. But we can't tell Iris about that now. We just can't. This is so strange. Somehow, in solving the case of Mr. Windibank's murder today, I feel like I've rolled back a boulder of the mouth of a very dark cave. I do wonder if perhaps it's a dark cave that we shouldn't go wandering inside. What if that's what Kazuma meant when he had a mission? Something to do with this music box disc. No! Not now! Oh dear, the ship is going to set sail soon. Yes, it seems so. I'll sail on that steamship first to the port of Dunkirk in France. Then I'll change onto a larger passenger vessel bound for Japan. You're really going then, Susie? We wish you a safe passage, Mrs. Zato. I can't say it right, I swear. Thank you so much. I wish all of you the very best. Miss Susato. I had hoped to have you always at my side, to guide me and support me. Whoa, is this a confession? Mr. Naruhado, please, come back soon. As far as I'm concerned, you really are the very best judicial assistant in the world. I'm quite sure. I'll be back before you know it. Really, Susie? Oh, now don't forget, Iris. I made you a promise I've yet to fulfill. A promise? About your manuscript. Ah. Oh yes, the Hound of the Baskervilles. Well, we'll be waiting for you then, Susie. A promise is a promise. Definitely, Iris. Mr. Naruhado? Yes? Do you remember the first time we met?
In the one that
Yes, of course. On the SS Bureau when I was dragged out from that wardrobe still half asleep. That wasn't the first time. If I remember rightly, you threw me halfway across the cabin with this Susato takedown. You knew very well that I'm talking about after that! It's strange, but being thrown together as we were in that case, I somehow felt straight away that you were the perfect person to continue Kazuma-sama's great legacy. Miss Susato. And my instincts were right. I really want to believe. No, I'm sure that I'll be back soon. Farewell until then. Yeah, we still have more things we have to figure out. There's still mysteries left untapped. Cutscene! This sucks.
Somehow we seem to have come to the end of the adventures of Leonos
Oh my god.
Or the first volume, at least.
I don't know how to...
Looking back now, it feels as though fate has
Kitty.
led me on this journey. Fate led me to becoming a lawyer, to traveling halfway around the world, to meeting the great detective.
No one can hear you.
I'm sure there'll be trials and tribulations ahead. Of course there will. But whatever happens, I know I'll be able to turn my fortunes around.
Yo.
After all, I have the greatest friends in the world on my side.
What? Bro literally pulled that out of nowhere. Oh, what? Ah, yes, Mr. Naruhado. Yes, Mr. Sholmes. I have some other awkward news. Oh god, we're not done. What else you got? What's up? The railway company has decided to sue over the special express train, apparently. No! No! Bro, what have you done?
FBI, open up!
Here they come! Huh? It caused such a commotion on the line, all the other trains had to wait at stations. Oh god. But really, we would never have made it to Dover in time otherwise. Anyway, I explained everything, and how was it, and how it was all your fault. Oh god, what? Huh? This is how all the Ace Attorneys end. I believe a formal complaint should be delivered to your office tomorrow. But not to worry, my dear fellow. According to Miss Susato, you love defending yourself in court. Huh? It's alright, I'm perfectly happy to testify. He really didn't look like the sort of man who'd do something so outrageous. See? Mr. Sholmes. Yes? A word, if you don't mind. Why, certainly, any word you'd like. Blow it out, my dear fellow. That was just a little bit too early for what I know is about to happen. Oh yes, I love Runo's words, and I know just the one he'll use here. Well then, I really must say. Credits time. Oh, he's raising that hand. I wish I could pronounce his name, I'm sorry. Yo, it's over. We did it. We've uncovered another mystery. Yo, Sholmes. In the following weeks, hundreds of music boxes arrived at Baker Street from all over Europe. Something was afoot, though it transpired I had ordered them all myself. So I advertised them for sale, with used by Mr. Sholmes to solve an important case. And the money I've earned? Consulting detective work pays a pittance by comparison. Dude, he's such a criminal. High five, Your Honor! Another version where Best Boy lives. I have to wonder. I haven't slept a wink. This manuscript is due tomorrow now. When I'm this busy, Hurley usually cooks me breakfast. Well, cooks is an overstatement. For some dry toast and insipid coffee. I do miss Susie and her lovely Japanese breakfasts. Phoenix Light will return in Morbius 2. We'll go out in a second. Let the stream over. Oh, witness, your testimony is riddled with contradictions.
Exactly. Rarely do rare culprit coins hide under rare stakes themselves.
I don't know his father's innocent man. Are you calling my son a liar?
Witnesses, my courtroom is no place for your petty arguments.
I'm like, wait, what was Mr. Pain? Is that Omni-Man? Having delivered the Russian dancers to shore in Shanghai, I lay low on the steamship for a while. But last night, I had apprehended an extremely suspicious Japanese national on board. I've done nothing wrong! All I did was give Wag Hai's offspring refuge in my pocket! A man bringing some kittens on board and suddenly he's hardened criminal! It's not fair! My god. Freaking male version of Sora, parallel universe Sora was there. I was wondering if he'd come back again, but logically he wouldn't come back, but I kind of missed the fact that he didn't. Oh god, it's Ganondorf. Scientific investigation will be the gold standard for policing in the new age. I dream of a world governed by the tenets of order and discipline. Like a great clock, in fact, whose hundreds of parts mesh together in perfect unison. Now, if you excuse me, I have but 2 minutes and 37 seconds until my next appointment. God, this game was really good. I know Space literally came in for the exact climax of the game. Oh, the latest Randest magazine is out, and I'm in it again! Whenever I say that one line she wrote now, I get a standing ovation. Want to hear it? Yeah, go ahead. Not bad, I suppose, for an amateur. Look, she wrote about him nicely? It's insane. I thought his reputation would be ruined. Ah, her ladyship puts me to shame. I wish Course were real. Sounds like something Isolate would say. He's just... I can't fully talk till this credit sequence is over. Been visiting the old girl on a daily basis, of course. Joanne, my old jailbird. Wait, what? Must say, battling with those Bailey stairs every day has done wonders for my dicky peg. What? Managing rather well with all the housework, too. Got this maid business tapped up, I'd say. Hope the gossiping neighbors don't realize the man of the house is his own maid. Yo, look at that. Reversing the gender roles. No, you don't. The moon, man. It's Mac Tonight. That's who his name is. Look him up later. You'll see what I mean. Oh, God. It's freaking Muffy. Maroli's back on the beat again, all thanks to the Reaper. There's nothing I enjoy more these days than hunting down small change in the gutter. I'm a better bobber now, looking out for Londoners. There dropped the hay pennies and my lovely wife. Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly. Yo, he got divorced. No, she's in jail for the freaking whatever, in the whatever case it was. I can't remember. Snowman is amazing. I didn't even see it. I was too busy distracted by the freaking annoyance. Oh, yo, it's Jenna. Looks like we're going to be doing time for a bit now. But ours comes every day for a natter, so it ain't too boring. She's always going on about all them cases Wash Holmes is looking into. Criminal investigations are kind of interesting when you get into them. Good, deserved. Ramirez, that's so true. Freaking angry wife. Oh, God. Yes, I renounced my upbringing and chose a life of sophisticated crime. But regrets? Please. You're old, bro. Ain't dash for you to know. Got time here to play and come back and Milverton Skulkin's milk run, right? The three Muskowitsits. Milking in the neighborhood for what it's worth. Oh, my God. They pose together. I love it. They're all in the same cell. Oh my God. There's a couple characters that in this game that popped up for like a minute and they just never showed back up again, which is kind of weird to me. Is that gonna be us now? Oh, it's her memory. She's not really here. This past 6 months has been a time I shall remember forevermore. Painful goodbyes and wonderful encounters. I've come to realize that's what life is all about. Naruhado-san, I promise. Your assistant will return to you one day. But for now, I leave you with many memories. And a heartfelt wish. That life will treat you well. Well, this is our room, I think. We didn't clean up our desk. Yo, look at us. Kitty. I love them. They did it. Kitty. Oh, my finger slipped. Picture of a picture. Sounds like something I'd see in something. Is there anything else? This game was a JoJo prequel. They threw so much posing. Wait, what? Kazuma! Okay. What's happening? That's too fast. What's happening? What is this? Oh, it's the actual credits. Okay. Bro, we clinging to Sholmes' arm. Dang, we're gonna see all the Oh, they have full models and everything. Look at that. Kazuma dripped out his mind. That's what killed him. Oh god, here it comes. Perfect music. Just watch him strut down. Oh, look, it's freaking Haru. Haru the villain. Alright, so this game has been fantastic, I hope. I know it's probably been difficult for people to keep up with the whole game, as hard it is to keep up with the story-driven narrative types of games. It gets difficult to see everything. So I hope it hasn't been too difficult to keep up with, or if you're just, in Space's case, just showing up for the final hour, which is still appreciated regardless. I hope everyone enjoyed the game. Now, I'll address it now since everyone's still here. There is a second game. This game, well, the Switch game is 2 games in one. So this is, well, technically, we finished the first game. It's technically only half the story. So there is a second game, a second half. Where's he going? No! Ah, he's gone. So open the mini thinks it's fun or anything. Well, that's fair. So I will be doing the second game, the sequel, the second chapter, whatever you want to call it, but probably not right away, since we've had a lot of it right now. No, Best Boy, don't leave us. This music is so good. Oh, is she gonna start walking with us? Wait, well, they just stopped. Okay. Bro got that strut. So we'll be, maybe I'll pick it up, sometime maybe after Harvest Moon month, maybe around, December or something. I'm not sure. The Space loses VIP? No, it's there. Yo, there's the girl. Oh, there's Ganondorf. So we'll probably continue the story around December after the move is over, because I don't want to be stuck in the middle of a story during a move with my schedule being all over the place. And Harvest Moon month usually gives very little time for other games that aren't Harvest Moon. So that's the idea. If everyone is still game to watch the series continue, I'm up to enjoy it with everyone. It's been a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. The pacing was really weird at first. And it's like I felt like just as I was getting settling in, though, the game was already over, basically. Like, I finally started to feel like I was settling in and on the second to last case in the game. Also, I actually was surprised with how much Herlock Sholmes' character just turned around, because I actually expected from that second case to just hate... Oh, he's walking with us, too! I expected to hate him so bad, and he became fantastic. It was so good. This game felt crazy long and insanely short at the same time. Exactly. Or you said that, reverse those adjectives, but so I'll say this too real quick, especially since with the coming RPG starting tomorrow, we're probably not going to have as much wiggle room as I thought we were probably going to have. Is she going to walk with us too? Yep, there she goes. That's us, the fearsome foursome right here. Oh god, the leg. It feels like Diet Zeke. Oh, there he is. Oh, they're posing. I didn't even realize that his pose was kind of like theirs. And there's Jenna. So with the RPG starting tomorrow, it's, schedule will be a little bit full. because and then like, you know, my stream schedule's all over the place. I don't know if we're gonna have a proper Spooktober this year, because I might be going through a move during the month of October, so we'll probably have to I'll have to find some other way to entertain you in October. I'm assuming it's happening in October and possibly into November. We'll see. I might if I have time, I'll still try and do a few spooky things, but it may not be every stream like it was last year. We'll probably have to just do what I can. Especially if the RPG is probably going to be Xenoblade. I looked at the results. Oh, look, everyone's poses! I love these guys a lot already. Freaking Tang said that Maya's better. I don't know. Susato is pretty good. Yo, that's nicely timed. Finn for part 1. Nice. Oh, there they are! I love it. The fleeting farewell. I love these two so much. Take pictures of that one was intentional for sure. The other one was too, but just awkward to have that weird finger snapping during that, or picture snapping. So is it gonna give me like a teaser? Oh no! Oh, that's a cool way that's a cool ending scene for that though. Quick, take a pic. We were all in the same brain cell. All right, so before we disperse for tonight, because I'm not going to be doing any Rune Factory tonight. I actually expected the stream to be more like 2 hours, and this second part has been 2 hours. So, there's that. I'm glad we didn't have any more disconnections. Rim's face took control of my screen for a second. Okay, so real quick, for the final results of the straw poll, I'm going to call whatever the results are here, just to see if anyone hasn't been paying attention. I'm going to look. And I think I know what they are. It hasn't changed in a few days. So, yeah, it hasn't changed in a couple of days, but with a much closer results than I expected. It was 4 in favor of Xenoblade, 3 in favor of Fire Emblem, and only 1 vote additionally to do both at the same time. So we're going to be doing Xenoblade. That's gonna be where'd the stream go? So that's gonna be tomorrow night's stream. Okay, so I like to do these type of things in the finale. So we've got. So Xenoblade. So let me recap the schedule. Ramirez seems slightly pleased. Don't lie, Ice. You're excited. Okay, so to give the slight little update, then. So then tomorrow's night stream's gonna be Xenoblade. Followed by that, I'm going to try and wrap up at least the major talking points or whatever of the Bug Fables post game. I addressed most of them in the first stream, so we may only have one more Bug Fables stream. And then Tuesday will be Pokemon Shield again. I might have a stream on Wednesday, but I'm unsure as of right now. And then once Bug Fables is done, I don't have the exact plan of what's taking its place yet, since we'll be just starting Xenoblade. This first game here is finished, and then Bug Fables will be finished too. So the only ongoing things we'll have will be Xenoblade and Pokemon Shield. So I might have to look into just something else. We'll be starting something else soon. I considered starting Dragon Ball Xenoverse, like, soon. I don't know if I'll start it this next week. Not this one, but next one. Well, I'm not sure yet. I don't know. It's like an experiment. I don't know how well that game's gonna do. Alright, the Splatfest will be Saturday, so I don't know if I'll be back out of work till after 10 o'clock, so we might have a late night Splatfest. It'd be nice if Ice had it by Friday. I could actually stream it easier on Friday, because I get out at 7 o'clock. I got screwed over at work for this Saturday. So, have a good one, Space. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for Xenoblade. I don't know if it'll be done yet. I actually commissioned some art for the stream coming up tomorrow. I don't think it'll be done in time. You never know. But if it is, that would be pretty cool. So I have like a sort of a surprise for that. So the only real certain plans right now for ongoing is a good. If you have it Friday, then the Splatfest stream will be Friday. It'll be easier. Hard work. Okay, so we'll continue the Ace Attorney Chronicles. Probably, like I said, November, December, depending on what happens with the move and whatnot. Maybe I should try and gauge some interest if I start Xenoverse soon too or not. It might be fun to start. I want a game that has like some gameplay to it, and I know that game does. I haven't played it in a long time. That stream is mine to determine. So I don't know. Part of me also wonders if I should play another Sonic game. But then the next one technically is Sonic Heroes, so it's like I partially wonder. If I did, I'd probably just find my save data of the old one, and then not get all the Chaos Emeralds. I don't know. I'm not really sure, because like when you do certain streams for so long, when they're finally done, you're not really sure what to do. This is why I usually set the plans for myself. Like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon took a long time, and then jumping right into Shield felt pretty quick because I already had that planned. I don't want to do 2 Pokemon games at once. I don't want to do that right now. So that's too much Pokemon. Maybe I should just, instead of jumping into Xenoverse, I should play some more... I say play some more Harvest Moons, but we have Harvest Moon month coming up soon, so... Community streams is an idea, too, once everything gets sorted out. Sonic Heroes. I don't have secret rings. It has. We need some streams like that. So I might do something like that. Okay, one sec. Oh my gosh, you should see the doggy. She's so excited. She's been waiting for me to let her out. Yeah, I know, you're jumping around. Give me a second. Let me just take care of that now. I know I'm in the middle of goodbyes, but she's gonna freaking... She tried to tackle me earlier. Guys, like Xenoblade and stuff will take us a while. So we got, yes, things like Jackbox, Gartic Phone, Minecraft. I have a lot of things like that. I may play Splatoon with you guys in streams that are not Splatfests. You know, there's plenty of game modes that could be addressed in that one. Seeing Splatoon 2 up there on that feed is really weird after seeing so much Splatoon 3. So yeah, I guess Splatoon counts. Not as much as I was thinking, though. That's not. It's harder to stream that, I feel like, unless people just like to jump in with streamer type of thing. I don't really know how the Splatoon culture is. So, I'm gonna look into some ideas for some spooky month streams. I don't have as many good games lined up. Is the first Spleen stream getting uploaded? I should have. I need to actually. Maybe I should this week. I should. Starting tomorrow, I'll start re-uploading the archives again. I've been like distracted. But I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna. As long as it's saved, I'm gonna re-uploading them all. I upload all the streams I have. The only ones I didn't upload recently, by recently I mean like in the last year or two, was Persona Strikers. And that's just because the first several streams disappeared, so I was going to think about re-recording the beginning of that game before I re-upload the VODs of Strikers. I don't know. I wasn't really sure. I mean, I know I get the views on them sometimes, but I know they're not as watched and stuff. And, you know, I'm thinking of maybe what I'll try to do for October if I have the time. If I don't have time to stream, maybe I can just try and create some Spooktober style videos. Cause I could probably do some Let's Play stuff. I actually do need to go back and do the good ending of the Boogeyman. I never actually finished that. And I think there was the next RPG Maker game on the list. I don't know which one it was though. I think there was one after that. I really enjoyed playing those, so that's always a thing. Lots of things I want to try and tackle soon. Pokemon Shield won't take too long to play. We finished 3 gyms in one stream last time, and it was only a 3.5-hour stream. So Pokemon Shield's not going to be that long, and I don't have the DLC to stream the DLC, so you don't have to worry about that. And then after, honestly, I was thinking of just going into the next Pokemon stream after that one, but if I'm going to be doing, what was it? The new ones in November, maybe I should hold off on the extra Pokemon streams after Shield until next year, maybe. I don't know. But I will have all the streams uploaded. It's a shame I found out the other day that some of the Xenoblade 2 streams were missing. But, you know, there's nothing. I think that might have happened. We might have lost some of them in the purge of when I lost the extra thing on the account, or it could have just been a blip. That kind of happens sometimes. With YouTube, I never had that problem. They were automatically uploaded or archived at the very least. So I guess we're gonna have a couple of new streams soon, starting this week and next. It'll be nice to close the book on Bug Fables as well, because that's been a lot of fun for a game. So yeah, I guess you kind of know what an idea is what's in the pipeline. Xenoblade 3 begins tomorrow. I'm gonna be wrapping up Bug Fables the day after, and then continuing Pokemon Shield on Tuesday, and then from there the next week we'll probably have some new games, possibly at least one new game. I'll have to figure out which one it is. So thanks for joining me for the Ace Attorney. Well, like I said, we'll probably be back with this in December or something. So have a good night, guys. I will see you guys in the next stream tomorrow night. Have a good one, everyone, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye, everybody.